Good morning and welcome to United in Faith Global Words. This is Pastor Tim Tierney here from Carthage, Missouri. Today we're going to be in part 3 of our sermon series. It's the sermon series we're in is Why Can't I Hear God? Again, this is part 3. The title is going to be You Have Been Deceived is the title of this one. It's kind of funny because yesterday I actually thought that I was breaking out of this series to do a different sermon because I was taking a shower. For some reason, when I'm taking showers, it's my time I speak to the Lord. The Lord speaks to me. I don't know if it's because it's quiet. There's nothing else going on. I'm not exactly sure why. But anyways, someone got put on my heart yesterday. And the Lord kind of pushed me to, it was a good time to do this sermon. And I went ahead and started thinking about it. And I decided, at first I was like, well, Lord, so I'm in the middle of a series. I don't really like, want to stop a series. And He pretty much gave me the spirit of slap and said, I leave the 99 for the one all the time. So I truly believe that today on this sermon that there is somebody either here or watching online that really needs to hear this message. God's trying to get you a message. So really pay attention if you're watching. And remember too that the devil, if you're trying to focus, he's going to do everything he can to distract you. So maybe get some time by yourself. Maybe, put your TV away and whatnot, and just spend some time with God and listen to what He has to say for you. Because I really feel that there's someone watching today that needs to hear this message. Look, this one's going to come a lot from my heart because I walked this path. I think we all do of being deceived. It's one of those things. The devil is really good at deceiving, guys. It's not his first day on the job. He's been doing this for a long time, and the sad truth is true, studious Christians, ones that actually study their Bible and know their scriptures, can just look around into, we're just going to say the church world, they're going to look around the church, the other Christians, and they're going to see how much and how good of a job the devil has done at deceiving us. It's sad because we are very deceived.
It's because
what is that? Oh, people are on. Oh, commenting. Oh, my bad. Sorry, my phone's making noise. I forgot to put it on vibrate. I'll have to look at your comments later. But anyways, that threw us off. Technical difficulties. Anyways, wow, that really threw me off. Anyways, point that I'm trying to make, guys, listen up. This is straight from the heart. I heard a conversation that was had the other day. I'm not going to name names, there's no reason to. But someone that I've never even met, at least I don't think I have, said some words that are just what me and Richard, we refer to as red flags. I mean, we know things just, Richard being military, I was law enforcement, there's certain things when people say things that just really triggers and it sets things off. Well, someone had mentioned, that when life gets tough and things are just piling down on top of you, and it just keeps seeming like things are getting worse and worse and worse, that sometimes it almost seems better to just be done with this world and move on and go on and just be done. It's not worth living anymore because it's just too stressful or things are just too hard or every time you start to do something right, here comes the devil. And look, a lot of people, when they get to that point, they pray to God. And I've listened to these testimonies, I've heard people say these things, and I listen to the prayers that they pray though. And a lot of times those prayers are almost as if God is up there and He's punishing you or He's mad at you because of how you handled the situation or something like this, and that you're just trying to get out of trouble. You're trying to explain why all of a sudden you need God to come and help you because you feel like you're just at the bottom and there's no way to go back up. I told you it was going to be emotional for me because that used to be me. I was very depressed at a time in my life. I wanted to die. I mean, there was nothing good in this world that I could see outside of my wife and my kids, and I was so sick at the time that I thought I was going to leave them behind anyways, and so my head was very full of suicidal thoughts all the time, and I mean that, guys. I would wake up in the morning, and in the time I go to bed at night, everything in between would almost be depression and just, I'm not good enough, or I'm too weak, or maybe there was times that I would even, mind you, I was kind of an atheist at the time in my head, or I was mad at God, however you wanted to say it. But I was at this point that maybe if God was there, that I was even being punished because of the things that I had done. The way that I had already lived my life, the way that the decisions that I had already made. Some of them were really bad decisions. Some of them were very stupid things. So I thought that my sicknesses and the bad stuff going on in my life, everything about that was all because of just me not making God happy. Me not being God, or not good enough for God. So I wouldn't hear from Him. And there would be times, even, this is what I always think funny when I say atheist, and this is why I always come back to say maybe I wasn't as much as an atheist as I think. Whenever things are rough, whenever you're in a last little situation, guess what you almost always do, believe it or not? You cry out to God. You're about to die. You know you're about to die. I mean, something's happened. You're falling from the sky. Your parachute's not opening. I guarantee you, believe it or not, most likely they're praying to God. It happens. Why? Because in here, in your heart, you know. You know what's true. You know what's wrong. What people do not understand is that there is a very real enemy out there named Satan. And he is coming to deceive you. That is his job. That's his only job, is just to deceive you and to kill you. That's all he wants to do. Now remind you, he cannot kill you physically. He cannot do it. He has to get you to do it. And how does he do that? Through depression, through suicide, through different things like that. Sometimes just through drinking alcohol until you can't take anymore, or doing drugs all the time, whatever. But you're signing your own death wish. Whenever you start doing these things, you start taking the world's way to handle situations and put them into a Christian's life. They don't work right. Actually, almost every single time it gets worse. Things start building up, things get worse. But one thing that I have noticed about Christians in general, especially the ones that are asking these questions of how come I can't hear God, or why is it that God's not on my side, or whatever that these questions are that I hear, it's the same thing I notice I come to a lot. You've been deceived. You have no idea who God is. You have no idea who God thinks you are. You have no idea what He has for your life. And that's what this is about today. Today's sermon is going to be a lot about showing you who God says you are. Because whenever we ask ourselves who we are, we're hard on ourselves, guys. We beat ourselves down. I said all the time, I'm my biggest critic. I go back, I listen to my preaching, I listen to my sermon. I get everybody else say, man, you did a good job. And here I am just picking myself apart. You know, I could have gone into this deeper. I could have gone into that deeper. I could have done this or that. You know, whenever it's outside, you know, even it's just silly, but you know, even doing yard work and stuff like that, I want my yard to look good. I want it to look right. You know, whenever I go to do something, I want it done right. I want to know that it's done right. And see, God, He wants the same things for us. He wants to know that whenever He's put Himself into our life, that we're going to take His word, we're going to take it seriously, and we're going to take it very true to heart, and we're just going to follow Him and follow these instructions all the way through, believe everything that He says about us, and never let the devil come in. But I'm about to show you today how good the devil is at coming in to deceive, because I guarantee you, almost everybody in here and everybody watching online, at some point in time in your life, you're going to realize today that you have been greatly deceived by the devil. Sometimes to the point that it is so much that people, they can't take it no more. You know, they start saying those things of, what's the point? What's the point of going on? I know I've heard other people say, you know, if that train comes around, I'm going to jump on and take it. You know, because